Hello everybody, welcome to the beginner's guide for crab champions. This video's goal is to assist the newest additions to our community, the newest players. In overall gameplay I will be providing some tips that might be not very obvious. So hopefully this video will just make you a better player and will help you achieve better results in the game. Maybe you will learn something that you never thought was possible. Maybe, I don't know, we will see. Honestly, I will admit that it's probably going to be hard to include everything that's important for a beginner because you know, a lot of this stuff I'm doing like automatically, so it's hopefully if I miss something you might just want to help me out in the comment section below this video. And also if you are not a beginner, maybe you still want to watch this video because maybe you don't know some of this stuff. I will be trying to include as much information as possible, so just I hope you enjoyed this video. So let's obviously start from the lobby, because the lobby is really important in this game and there's a lot of stuff to do. First of all, to start the game has no like real main menu, and I know a bunch of people that never will or never would play this game if I didn't help them. They bought it but they never would play if I didn't tell them how to start the game, because the game has no menu and it's not straightforward. Some players might just look for an actual main menu, but there's none. The lobby acts as a main menu. And here is the button to start a new run, and this is where you start the game. This is basically, if you just start the game, if you buy the game and start it, that's basically what you want to do. Just go here and just go to a new run. This one will appear only if you have a saved run already somewhere like in the memory. I will explain how to save a run a bit later in this video, so stay tuned. This will disappear if you die and if you lose the saved run. And this one obviously allows you to continue your saved run with everything, every single item you have, with everything you had in the run, and this one makes you start a new run. But if you press this by accident, don't worry, just quit to lobby. This will be still here because of how the save works, but I will be talking about this later because there's a lot of stuff to do in this lobby. Obviously behind us is the early access roadmap, which is a bit outdated. I don't think since the release that there haven't been any changes to it. I think, for example, like this FX overhaul that already happened, like the last update did this already, so this should like probably not be here. So some of the stuff happened, some of the stuff got cancelled, much more got added, so this is not really accurate. If you press escape and enter this menu, the feedback button will lead you to the Discord, and also the Discord, or the official Discord for this game is in the description. You might want to join it because there's a lot of cool stuff happening, and that's the place where you will get the most up-to-date information about this game and its development. So that's definitely a better place. Obviously there's a lot of totems in this lobby, and all of these totems are important. This is probably the most important totem. This is the difficulty totem, and if you open it, you will see the difficulties. I think you start on normal, and I recommend probably to start on normal because in the current iteration of the game, easy is like laughably easy. It's really easy. Like it's even players that are not experienced with shooters at all, I believe, would be able to probably win on easy, which is not something that I don't think that should be happening, because when I bought the game I struggled with normal a lot. To get my first win I had to spend many hours, honestly, but normal is also quite easy, but it will give you the challenge you need to learn the stuff you want to learn in this game. We will be playing on normal in a bit. You also have nightmare, so you will have these 3 difficulties. This is not for the beginner's guide, so I will not be talking about this in particular. I will probably include this in the intermediate guide, or probably in the advanced guide. I will be obviously making guides for intermediate and advanced players later on, where I will be showing stuff that you need to have more experience in this game to just understand or learn about. To the right of the difficulties, you will have difficulty modifiers. And difficulty modifiers are pretty straightforward. They are all described, really, what they do. And they will give you challenge level depending on how many modifiers you have, and also your difficulty will give you challenge level. Challenge level is, to the right of the difficulty modifiers, you can see that there's this is like the visual representation of each rank you can get. If you play on a difficulty, let's say you play on normal and maybe you have like these 2 modifiers active, you can see your challenge level is 15. That means that you are in the between level 10 and 20 challenge level to get the gold rank. And if you manage to win right now, you will get a gold rank on your weapon. And maybe it's worth to explain what the ranks mean. If you hover over a weapon, you can see, probably if you're a beginner, you will probably have bronze ranks on every weapon, because that's what you start with. And this is like the default rank, this is the lowest rank. If you manage to win on island 30, except for diamond you need island 60. If you play on challenge level 50, which is the highest, and go for diamond but finish at island 30, which is like the first island you can win on, you will get only ruby. So you need island 60 or higher to get diamond. And if you manage to win with a rank, you will get that rank for your weapon. As you can see, I have diamond on every single weapon, and it's kind of tiresome, but I definitely recommend going for diamond for everyone, like eventually, because it's a lot of fun, and it's not even like really hard. And if you get, let's say, a gold rank with what we have currently, on every single weapon you will get gold rank as your player rank, which is the rank you see here. I obviously have diamond on every weapon, so I have diamond rank. That's how it works. There's 14 weapons in the game, so you technically need at least 14 runs to get a rank that you desire, let's say. But if you have like, let's say 4 diamonds and every other weapon you have on bronze, you will probably get like gold or something, because the ranks are an average. They're average out of every single weapon, so, well, average out of 14, if you have 14 ranks, will be that rank. But if you have higher ranks on some weapons and lower ranks on some weapons, you will get an average that, well, you would have to calculate it, but like, let's say you have some rubies and diamonds, you might have like gold or sapphire if you have also some bronzes. This is like an average. So to get a rank other than diamond, you don't need that rank on every weapon. You can have like some higher, some lower. I think it's good time to explain the other things you see near your Steam username. This is level. This is player level, and you get player level every 10,000 score you get in the game. You get a level up. No matter if you win or if you die, you will get a level up depending on your score. The only way to change your score gain is to get higher challenge level, because if you have like 15 challenge level, you get 75% more level gain. Every challenge level is 5%, so 15 times 5 is 75, so that's 75% more. If you have nightmare and every single modifier for challenge level 50, that's 50 times 5%, that's plus 250% level gain from your score. So if you get like 20,000 score, you will get 7 levels, because that's like 3.5 times more levels than your score divided by 10,000. So that's the only way to alter the level gain. Next, the skull icon with 0 in the lobby next to it is your current kills. It measures the kills that you had in your run so far. So if you kill like 100 enemies, this will show 100, and the 0 next to a crown is your score. So you will get score for killing enemies. Small enemies give 1 score, medium enemies give 4 score, I think. Champions give 12, I think. And elites give like 40 and bosses give like 50, something like that. And it's multiplied by your combo, which is also visible here. Combo is the measure of your ability to kill enemies without getting hit. Because if you get hit, your combo resets to 1x. And you get 2x combo if you kill 25 enemies, 3x combo if you kill 50 enemies, 4x combo if you kill 125 enemies, and 5x combo, which is the max, if you kill 225 enemies without getting hit. Unless you have armor. If you have armor, which you might not know what that is, but we will probably get it, so I will explain it later. If you get hit on armor, this protects your combo. So if you get damaged on armor, that doesn't reset your combo. That won't really matter. If you open your inventory using the tab button on the keyboard, you will have 24 slots for weapon mods, 24 for grenade mods, and 24 for perks. And those are the 3 main item groups that currently exist in the game. If we get some, I will be explaining how they work. Just maybe for now, I'll let you know that weapon mods will affect only your weapon and its projectiles. Grenade mods will affect only grenades, and perks will affect more or less everything, but perks can have different abilities, let's say, because weapon mods usually just focus on spawning some additional projectiles or increasing your damage, something like that, whilst perks can have different abilities, like increasing your speed, increasing your amount of jumps, increasing damage, and if they increase damage, they will increase damage of everything. So grenades, weapon mods, every weapon mod also, like your weapon, your melee, turrets, auras, everything you really can think about, perks increase the damage of it. Obviously I'm talking about perks that increase damage overall, because there's like a perk that increases melee damage only, it obviously increases only melee damage, right? And you can also see in your inventory right here your amount of crystals, which is the currency for the game. You use crystals to buy items from the shop, and also to use the gamble totem, which is one of the totems that can spawn inside the run in the game. And they can give you items with 25% chance, but if we see them, I will be explaining them later. And you can also see the amount of keys. Now keys you get from elites and bosses. I will be also explaining that later if we get to an elite or a boss, and they are used in the key totem. Currently the key totem is the only way to use the keys, but it also has a lot of stuff. Noise Storm, the developer of the game, said that keys will be much more important in the future, so it's kind of worth it to not waste all of them, unless like I will explain a bit, but like if you unlock everything from the key totem, you shouldn't waste any more of your keys, really, unless you like want to, because keys will be important in the future. So key totem unlocks weapons. This is something important because this is something that a lot of players do not know. You start with only auto rifle unlocked, or at least that so it would seem. This is not true, because you also start with dual shotguns unlocked. Every single other weapon is locked except dual shotguns. Dual shotguns are also unlocked from the start, so you can use dual shotguns from the beginning of the game. So if you play on auto rifle and do not get any keys and decide that this is not your playstyle, you can play with dual shotguns. I think I will be playing with auto rifle, because that's like the weapon that most beginners use rather than dual shotguns, but probably people will be changing this weapon anyways, because it's rather not regarded as very good. This is obviously the target dummy. You can check your damage and how your weapon works, how it attacks, how it shoots, what's its DPS, which is an important factor in the later game, but I will be talking about it in the shop maybe more. So you can unlock every single weapon using the key totem. Every use of key totem costs 3 keys, no matter what you are unlocking. And if you unlock every weapon, you still can unlock stuff from key totem. Because if we move here, these are your stats. These are my stats for normal difficulty. If I change it to like nightmare, let's say, or easy, because I want to show that I have 0 attempts at easy. This is like very funny. Well, I will be making 1 attempt at easy only, and I will be making a cool video out of it. Below your stats you can see your mastery, which is like you start with like 71% unlocked, something like that, because it shows weapon mods unlocked, grenade mods unlocked, and perks unlocked, and most of these items you have unlocked from the start, so most of these bars will be filled anyways. But there are unlockables. There are unlockable weapon mods, grenade mods, and perks, and you unlock them through key totem. If you unlock an item through key totem, this happens after you unlock every single weapon, you can pick it up and take it for your next run, which I think is really cool. And after you unlock every item, you no longer will be unlocking any items, but you can spend 3 keys to get a random item, random epic or legendary item. I got reinforced, which is a cool perk because it gives you more armor upon picking up armor. Maybe in shop we get some, we will see. And also this is important, the key totem will first spawn only unlockables to unlock them, but if you unlock every item, it will start spawning epics and legendaries that are not unlockable also, that are already unlocked. So like reinforced, I think, is like unlocked since the beginning, and I got it from the key totem. You can get any epic or legendary from key totem after unlocking the unlockable ones. That's something important. And obviously here is another totem, is the cosmetics totem. Here you can only change your skin, and all the skins have different challenges. Every skin is like the Steam challenge, the Steam achievement. The challenges are Steam achievements, and as you can see, like all of these skins are not finished yet. As you can see up here, it's like literally written here. The amount of people that come to the Discord and say, oh, why are there so many skins that look exactly the same? My brother in Christ, it says it right above the skins. It's literally said here. I just don't understand these people. Obviously, I am using the cold one, which is the hardest one to get because it requires to complete all challenges. And I think it's just like really, really good. It's one of my favorites. But Glimmer I also really like. Some of the skins are animated, like for example the Flow skin. It's really animated and it's like really cool. So some of the challenges are not even that hard. Like get 5 wins total on Nightmare difficulty, I don't think it's hard at all. And it gets you a really, really cool looking skin, right? I might play the default one, which is like buy the game is the requirement, but obviously you cannot like not get this skin. This is like the default one you start with. I will be playing with it, so it feels like more like beginner, more like I'm a beginner right now. And there's also the multiplayer totem. You can invite your Steam friends, the people you have in friends, on your Steam friends list. There will be quick play. There was quick play in the. Is it like, yeah, quick play coming soon? Actually, the button is still here. I can click it. That's funny. But it's broken. It doesn't work. It has a lot of problems. Noisestorm is working hard to fix that, but it for some reason just does not want to work. So we need to add a person to Steam friends list, and then you can play with them. And I recommend again joining the Discord, because we have the looking for group channel, which is used specifically for people to join VCs, let's say, and just play together. Okay, I think this is going to be it for the lobby. There's obviously also the parkour practice that you can use to practice your movement. Well, as you just saw, I definitely probably should practice my movement, but I think we are ready to start. I forgot to say that the player level and the rank are completely cosmetic. They don't do anything except for like personal satisfaction, let's say. At least for now they don't really do anything, but maybe in the future we will see. So we will obviously start the new run, and we got teleported to the island. As you just saw, I had some symbols. This is if you do not play with random islands, which I absolutely recommend to play with random islands, because it's just so much more interesting. But if you don't, you will see the symbols that show up the default island order, let's say. Yeah, it's the default island order. Maybe I will kill the enemies first to maybe it will be easier to explain stuff. Obviously you will move like this. If you press shift, you will be sliding, which really increases your speed. Space is jump, and if you press space whilst in the air, your crab will jump. I recommend pressing shift all the time. It just makes you faster, and dashing also will increase your speed. That's like what I'm doing mostly. That's how I'm moving. That's like the fastest way to move, really. If you are in the water, you cannot slide. It will also have like cool effects and like cool underwater, like submerged effect. Your F key by default will be melee. I had to change it because my F key is broken and my F key on the keyboard doesn't work. And melee hits enemies not only in front of you, but also like to the side of you and behind you. It has like a circular attack, so it attacks enemies all around you. And your grenade is under G by default, and it throws a grenade like this that explodes and deals a lot of damage, but has a 5-second cooldown. So let's kill some enemies by shooting at them. Obviously right clicking aims at the enemies, and if you are in the air whilst right clicking, you will be slowed down, but it slows down only your movement, not the enemy movement. It doesn't slow down the time, as you can see. The enemies are moving still the same way. You are slowed down, which is like useful in avoiding enemy projectiles, because their aim gets all around the place if you do this. But that's like a little exploit that nobody talks about, because it's like just so good for avoiding damage. Well, let's shoot at this poison ant then, and let's kill it. And we get some crystals for killing the enemies. We will be able to spend them in the shop. Now let's come to this ant and melee it. As you saw, I dealt some damage to it. Let's do this again. And for this group of crabs, you can really do whatever you want, but grenades are good for killing crabs. Obviously, groups of crabs. Usually on the first few islands, using melee is like really good, because it deals a lot of damage by default, and whilst upgrading it, it's even worse probably than the grenade build. The weapon will be your carry later on. For the first like 10 islands, it's really good. Now you get a chest every time you finish an island. You can get sometimes 2 chests or more, depending on like challenge modifiers and stuff, but I will be explaining it later. I got a weapon mod, a grenade mod, and a perk in the same chest, which is like really unusual. The items could be random. I could get 3 weapon mods, and all of them are rare, which means like rarity is like the most common one. It's like most items are this, but the default item rarity is the rare rarity. And there are also epic items and legendary items. Epic items are quite rare in regular chests, but there are epic chests that you get for defeating elites, and also the parkour if you are fast enough. But usually you get rare items in your chests. The legendary items are very rare, but there is also a legendary chest for finishing a boss, so you can kind of force it. I will be taking wind up probably because it's really good for my weapon. So wind up works this way: it increases damage by 4% for each shot fired until reloading. So if I shoot 10 times, my damage is 40% higher right now, but if I reload, it goes back to 0% increase. So after we opened our chest, we will have a portal up here, and we got luck chests and critical chests. So the luck chest is usually quite bad. It has amazing epics and legendaries, amazing. However, they are so rare that it's not worth to just going without an upgrade that increases your luck in the first place. So critical chests are much better because crits are really good in this version of the game. They are really unbalanced and it's really fun to play crit builds. But crit chests are also bugged because every chest should have 3 items except for upgrade and grid chests, which we'll maybe talk about later. But crit chests will have 1, 2 or 3 items like completely randomly because they are bugged currently. You shouldn't really worry about it. And under the reward you can see that it says Portal Arena, defeat all enemies. So what we just beat was an arena. There's a few islands in this game. Basically it's Parkour, Elite, Boss, Shop and Horde. Horde islands are like the second regular island, let's say. Horde islands, we will encounter Horde Island because we have the default island order, and there are 2 Horde islands on the default island order per biome. So we will see Hordes, so I will show how Hordes work. On Arena there's a set amount of enemies spawning and we have to kill all of them. And on Island 1 and 2 there will be no champions, only the medium enemies. Okay, this island is really hard sometimes, so let me just kill everything normally. The slugs are exploding enemies. Their explosions are killing the enemies. So they are really good for cleaning groups of enemies. They're like really good. Okay, that was a bit scary. Let's kill the ant, and this is the last enemy, should be. Yeah, we cleared the island too, and we get another chest. So we get a totem, that's really cool. Also, this rock, I forgot to say what it is. This is an energy ring rock. After an island finishes, sorry for that, you cannot get damage through environmental hazards or enemy projectiles that are still in the air. So this is the energy ring rock. If you destroy it, there is an energy ring and it will disappear eventually, and it will damage enemies for quite a lot. It's actually a really good rock, and it will also damage you, so you need to avoid it. It's a really good offensive tool. This is a crystal totem. There's a very similar but extremely rare random totem that randomizes your inventory. So if you see a crystal totem but don't really want to use it, you should check it out anyways, because it might be the random totem and it's just really cool to use it because it's so rare. It's extremely rare. I've seen it only 3 times probably, and remember that I have like 500 hours in this game. So crystal totem will give you crystals for losing health. It seems good, but it's bad right now because we will the crystal amount it gives to you depends on the island you find it in. The later the island is, the more crystals you will get. And the first few islands have the scaling like really weird, because like if it was on the next island it would give me like 2 times more crystals for 10% of my health. So that's like not really worth it right now, but I will use it anyways to show you how this works. So I got 17 crystals and I lost 20 health because that's 10% of my health. I can do this again. Maybe I will do it like 5 times if possible. The totems have 33% chance of exploding, at least the crystal totems. Some totems will always explode, some totems will never explode, maybe, I don't know really what I'm talking about. But let's open the chest. Ooh, we got a double greed chest, that's actually exciting. Sharpshooter increases critical chance by 6%, hotshot increases critical chance by 15%, but incoming damage is also increased by 20%. Overall, I like hotshot more, but maybe for newer players, sharpshooter would be better. I will be taking hotshot to show how it looks like, because it's basically sharpshooter but with additional debuff. Yeah, that's basically how it looks like. Obviously, you can drop any item except for greed items, which are not droppable. That's like how they work. They have a strong debuffs that you cannot get rid of unless you get actually the random totem. That's the only way to change that. You can also pick them back up, but you can also salvage them by pressing X for long enough. I don't want to salvage any of these items, but I might need to salvage the greed item, which we are obviously going for because they are much more rare than the health chest. So you can see there's a challenge for this island: homing thorns. Enemies explode into a cluster of homing thorns when eliminated. That's actually only one thorn, but okay, whatever. These are thorns that will be in the air and will be slowly chasing you, and they deal immense amount of damage, so I need to focus here for a bit. They will disappear eventually. There's like 8 or like 9 different challenges, maybe like 7, I don't remember. They're really cool, but sometimes they're really hard, especially with a modifier that, the difficulty modifier that doubles them. So every single island will have double the modifiers instead of only one modifier, so 2 random modifiers. And also you can see here that for completing this island we will get 2x greed chests. It can happen for any chest, not only for greed chests, and it will give us 2 chests from which we will be able to choose an item from both of them. So this is like really worth it usually, but it might be hard for some of them. Might be really hard for like less experienced players, like for example the energy rings one. Also, before we go to that island, you can notice that my combo is now 2x, because I killed 33 enemies without getting hit. The crystal totem does not count for the combo. So I killed 33 enemies without getting hit. I can see that because like I killed 33 enemies and I know that I just did not get hit yet. And I got 2x combo. Let's see if I can even get 5x combo, maybe without using armor, or maybe I can get armor quick. Well, let's go to the greed chest. You should really join the Discord, the official Discord for the game, and you can talk with me there because I'm the most active there, the most active person in the Discord. This is a poison crab, and this is a champion. As you can hear him shooting at me, he's shooting, he's really tough, so let's not even come close to him. As you can see, these red projectiles are the homing thorns. They're usually seen as like really easy, but they can pack a punch, definitely. They can be like really dangerous. I killed the champion, I got a lot of crystal for that. That's the last enemy, and we got the challenge flawlessly. That means without getting damaged, so that's cool. And we get greed chests. The greed chest will not have 3 options, it will have only 1 option. There's a perk that can increase that. It's extremely good for the greed chests. Yeah, this will be like only 1 item, so I will probably be salvaging unless I get like a good one. A lot of greeds are extremely good, and I got another greed chest. That's actually like ultra lucky. This is extreme levels of luck. So what we got? Juggernaut, max health increase but more enemies spawn. Yeah, this is the downside, more enemies spawn, and I think it's 50% health increased, but 15% more enemies spawn, and I will actually take it because it's really good. Because overall, if you get experienced a bit more, then you will notice that more enemies spawning is actually good, because it's not like super overwhelming and it gives you more crystals, so that's good. And brute force, both outgoing and incoming damage heavily increased. It's 100% more damage for 25% incoming damage increased, which is also, I think, a good trade, because I basically doubled my damage, but incoming damage increased by 25%. That's like kind of whatever. And now it's Island 4. In the default island order, Island 4 will always be a horde. A horde works like this. Let's go for the greed chest. This is a random chest. It can have any item in the game except for greeds. So its pool is really big. It's quite a good chest, but greed is obviously like much better. Horde Island has a set timer, which is 35 seconds in this case. It depends on which island it is. The lowest it can go is 25 seconds. If with random islands you will get Horde on Island 2, it will be on 25 seconds. And it will increase by 5 seconds for every next island. So if you get it on Island 3, it will be 30 seconds. If you get it on Island 4, like we did, it will be 35 seconds. And it can go up to Island 8. If you get it on Island 8, it's 55 seconds. And also, if the island is bigger, the number of islands is bigger, it will also spawn more dangerous enemies. As you saw, there were really just crabs, and I think there were a few slugs spawning, so that was not hard, but skulls can spawn here, ants can spawn here. It can get really hard, and you don't have to kill any enemy. I think I killed 0 enemies in this island. You only need to survive for a set amount of seconds. This island will be also like reworked. Horde islands will be reworked, so you can lower the timer if you kill a set amount of enemies. So that's like really cool, but that's like for later. And let's open the greed chest. Let's get up the ante, which is damage increased by 75%, but again more enemies spawn, which will also like work together with Juggernaut. This is really good. Let's go to the shop. So the next island is the shop. As you can see, the shop is also marked on the timeline. Shop has really cool music. It's like the shop music you can get only in the shop, and the soundtrack really stops when you enter the shop, really. You can heal here. There's 250 health lying on the ground, so this is like free healing. There are also like 4 rocks spawning here. Up to 4 rocks can spawn here. And this time the game decided that there will be only crystal rocks here, which will give me crystals if I destroy them. And here is the shop part. We get the target dummy. There is Tony, the shopkeeper, who is resting in his cave for now, but he will greet us with his usual charm in a future version of the game, which will be, I think, soon actually. And you get by default 4 items that you can buy here. And epics are more common, I think, in the shop. It would, at least so it would seem. So this is a good place to get legendaries and epics. And this pedestal, the first one here, almost always, I think, has health items. As you can see, this is a health item, endurance, which allows us to heal after clearing each island. This item is really good. For like less experienced players, this is like something they almost always go for, and I think it is a really good item. It heals for 50 every island. Power punch, increased critical hit damage, that will be good. High caliber shot deals more damage, but clip size is reduced. This is really good, 75% damage increase, but we get like 30 magazine instead of 40 magazine now. This is the reroll totem. It has also 33% chance of exploding, and it costs 10 crystals, at least on this island, to reroll every shop pedestal. So if we press that, we get new items on every pedestal, even the ones that we bought something from. Glueshot has interesting mechanic. I don't know if I want really to show it, but yeah, I will be choosing like random upgrades at this point, because like it's not worth explaining every single one. Maybe I will make a mega video one day explaining every single item in the game. Well, let's take Hotshot and Vitality, maybe. Hotshot obviously is the critical chance increase, and Vitality increases damage by 50% when we are at more than 85% of our health. So we are at 300 now out of 300, so we are at 100%. If we don't get hit, we will have the vitality bonus for quite a long time. You can also see that this item is a bit cheaper. It's minus 25% its price. That's because there's a random chance, I don't know the chance, but there's a random low chance of an item getting 25% discount, which I think is really cool. Also, the shop is like really big. You can go like really far out of the shop without getting teleported back to the spawn. So that's cool, I guess. So let's continue with the economy chest probably, because damage chest, we have a lot of damage. Economy will help us with crystal gain, that's really cool, right? Maybe for the future shops. And we are on island 6, and it's a good island to explain how does the saving work. Actually, my damage is so big now that I mostly one-shot enemies. Pufferfish are enemies that also explode. They work basically like slugs, maybe they're like faster. And Rage Grab, I don't like this enemy really. It's an enemy that shoots like that, yeah, basically a minigun. Yeah, look at that. And the projectiles also bounce from certain walls. That's like really a hard enemy to beat. That used to be my least favorite enemy. But besides, the saving. We are at island 6. If we click quit to lobby, before we quit actually to lobby, we will get a notification, are you sure? Your progress will be saved and you can resume your run from the island after the last shop or boss. Which is ambiguous and kind of confusing, and surprisingly, it's also not true. That's not how the game saves, that's not how the game ever said saved, so I don't know why it ever said so. But actually how the saving works is that your game saves automatically every time you enter island 6, island 11, island 16, island 21, island 26. So if you enter those islands and so on, the game will always save. The exception is island 1, it does not save on island 1, but that's kind of obvious why it doesn't do so, right? So we finish this island. If I quit right now, we would have to do the island again. So that's something that you can like re-roll your chests, but that's kind of exploiting, you know? If you don't like these upgrades, then you can just quit to lobby and do this island again and like get other stuff in the chest. I don't know if you really want to do that. That's like, I do not recommend doing that because that's kind of naughty, right? So this is a special item because this is an item that if we pick up, it will not be in our inventory. It will only give us, well, 264 crystals, but this is not an item that will exist in our inventory. It will disappear after that. But these are obviously perks. And I will take, special delivery would make our shop bigger, so we would have 5 pedestals now instead of 4. But I will take Tony's black card because it's just shop discount. It lowers all prices by 8%. Sorry for that. The spike chest is also an interesting mechanic, so we will go for that. And that's the last arena on this biome. The next islands will be the Horde Island, the shop, and the elite fight, which is something that might sound scary, but it's okay. So these are the sniper crabs. They will shoot very high damage and quite accurate projectiles, but if you just aim in the air, you will almost never get hit by them. And they will shoot 5 times and then like reload for like a few seconds. That's how they work basically. What? How? Oh right, we have the increased enemy spawn items. I was like, why there are 4 champions? That's not possible in this game. There are only 3 champions at Island 7. But we got the increased spawn perks, so we have more enemies. This is the last enemy. So this is a spike chest. I have to use health to open it. It shows 75 health. Here it's 25% of your current max health. That's what you need to use to open a spike chest. So that means you can open technically only 4 spike chests at a time. If you get good perk combinations, you can open up to 64 on average. If you are unlucky, then less, but if you are lucky, then maybe even more. but I don't think it's like really important. Now we will heal in the shop anyways, and Spike Chest has only epic perks, well, epic items or legendary items. It will not have rare items, it will only have epics or legendaries, but it does not have increased chance for legendary. It has the same chance for legendary as the regular chest, which is kind of sucks, but you can't really do anything about it. So we can upgrade our reinforced, or get big hearts or checklists. These are really good, really bad items, honestly. I mean, big hearts is good, but I probably will not be using it. But I will take it. And now we get 100% more max health from hearts. Hearts, we didn't see a heart yet, but if we will, then I will show you how it works. And here we have a blessing. There's currently only one blessing in the game, but there will be much more. The blessing is flawless. So if we manage to not get hit, also the flawless blessing, the challenges before that I showed you on the greed island, they can appear only in arenas, whilst the blessings can happen only in hordes. At least for now, the flawless blessing can. If we get no damage, it also includes damage on armor. If we do not get damaged, we will get a second chest, so our chest rewards will be doubled. So let's try. It's going to be 55 seconds, but I hope it's actually the easiest island to not get hit on. Watch me get hit in the next 5 seconds. So for this island, the strategy, oh, this is a blocker school, that's not good, because it can attack, it has ranged attacks. But for this island, if you don't really even want to attack, oh, okay, that was scary. You just focus on killing the ranged enemies, and if you do this movement exactly, the melee enemies will just never hit you. What was that? That was a ranged enemy, I'm pretty sure. Also, like, the regular islands have this barrier, you can't really go past it. It's like limiting your game area, so you don't like flee somewhere very far and just never get hit by anything because you're so far, right? Let's see our rewards. So the elemental chest is one of the worst ones, but poison shot is like really good, and arcane shot is like also really good. The poison upgrades, the elemental upgrades, the elemental shots increase the chance for shots to have the ability to poison enemies. I don't know if you see that, but some of the projectiles can be like green or like purple. That means that they hold the charge for the respective element. Like the green projectiles hold poison charge, the purple ones hold arcane shot, and a projectile can have both. Can have actually all elementals at once, but it's like quite rare if you don't have them at high proc chance. And this is a heart. This is a bronze heart. It increases max health by 50, at least it says so, but it will actually increase our max health by 100 because we have the big hearts perk, and it also heals 33% of our health. And it is applied after you get the max health increase. So we got 400 now, and 33% of that 400 was like, I don't know, something, right? 133, and it increased our health by 133. I think that's how it worked. That's how it should work, I think. I don't know. Sometimes here we can get a random chest. It will have only one item to choose from, unlike the regular random chest that will give us obviously 3. But it's basically free. It's a free chest, so let's open it and let's see. It's sometimes hard to see, so guys, check it out always if there is no chest here, because it might be a game changer whatever I get from here. Danger close, damage increase to nearby enemies. That's like okay for us, I guess. And this is a golden rock. It's quite rare, but if you explode it and stand in its area of effect, as you can see on the right side of the screen, our max health was increased by 28 actually, and it is just a max health increase rock, and it's really cool. And this is also a glass totem. Glass totem gives you a free item, completely free. But the thing is that if you damage it, or if an enemy damages it, the enemies will never target it, but the projectiles can like damage it. then it explodes and it doesn't give you the item. But if we use E on it before that happens, we will get a free item. Big claws, melee range increase. That's like really cool, I guess. Without the perk, we will not be able to attack from here. If I take it, I'm able to attack here using my melee. Power armor is a really good item because it increases your damage by 25% for each equipped armor plate. But sadly we have no armor plates. Let's re-roll, maybe we can see an armor plate. Sadly no, but light shot is really good because it increases the fire rate just for some damage sacrifice, which is like really good because it works in a interesting way. What do I want to drop? Honestly, the reinforced, well, maybe not. I will drop the big hard swing because the reinforced might be important now that we got the power armor. So light shot increases the fire rate by 20%, but shots deal 15% less damage. It seems kind of weak. However, that 15% less damage is like reduced from the overall damage increase we get from weapon mods. So currently we get 75% from here and also like 4% per shot fired from here. So the light shot will not reduce our damage by 15%, but it will remove this bonus by 15%. So instead of increasing my damage by 75%, it will increase only by 60%. But that seems much better now, right? Yeah, and the fire rate is still increased by 20%, and that's significant. So light shot is really slept on item by a lot of players because they just do not want lower damage, but in the end it's really negligible and players just, there's like, it's hard to know why, it's hard to figure it out. Oh, we got mace shot. Damn, I'm like stupid or something. I'm obviously taking this because I want you to I want to show you how does this work, because it's like very important. Because this is on-shot projectile, special projectile. Oh, well, damn. So mace shot has 6% chance to proc. This is the proc chance, so it's the proc chance is like the chance of an item activating. And if it activates, it fires 3 mace balls that deal 100 damage per second along with the shots, and this is multiplied by our perk increase. As I said at the beginning, the perks increase all damage. So like if this item increases damage by 100%, it also increases the mace balls damage by 100%. And I can show you how this works. This is how it works, this is how it looks like, and this will obviously pierce through every enemy. It will never stop unless it like bounces from a rock or a wall or something like that. Yeah, it's really cool. Look, just look also at the visual. It's like pretty cool. Oh wow, I had, well, I have only 6%, right? That's why it just didn't appear. And it's random. I can get like 2 in a row very quickly, but sometimes I can get like 0 from the entire magazine, like I just did. And it obviously changes with the fire rate of the weapon. Like minigun, which has the highest fire rate, will have like 3%, but like sniper we have like 30% or something, or a rocket launcher. So it's just balanced for every weapon basically. So this is an elite island, and if you beat an elite, you will get your first key if you never had beaten an elite or boss. So let's beat it. It's like a very hard and very tanky version of a champion. There is an elite lightning crab. There is a champion version of it. Not every elite has a champion version. Like the elite poison grab does not have an elite champion version, for example, but most of them have. So they're like just stronger champions and they're very tanky. But obviously our build is just like really good. Like 3 grid perks by like Island 4 or what that was. That doesn't happen ever, really. And you get 3 chests after defeating an elite. You get a key chest, which is right here, epic chest, and healing chest. Let's open the epic chest first because it's the most important. It works just like spike chest, but it's like free. You don't have to pay with health. It just works like a regular chest. Split shot splits our projectiles, stream loot increases our chance for epics and legendaries, which is like really cool, and the drill shot is a strong weapon mod. I'll take stream loot because maybe I will be able to show you like some maybe cooler epic and legendary items in the future. Healing chest will have only one choice, but it will always spawn only armor or health. There's like 50% chance for a heart and 50% chance for the armor, and we got bronze armor. As you can see, it gives you one armor plate that reduces elemental damage, which is like kind of sketchy. I don't know how it works exactly. It also protects combo and will block one hit when broken, which is also not true, because like it was supposed to block only one hit, but currently it doesn't do that yet. It like one armor bar is equal to 15% of your max health currently, but it will probably change one day to just blocking one hit. But it just needs some work and balancing to do. That's why it's like that right now. So if we pick this up, we get actually 2 armor plates, because we have the reinforced perk, which gives us 1 additional armor plate every time we pick it up. And it basically, as I said, works like a second health bar. Every armor plate is 15% of your max health, and the max amount of damage you can get on armor is 1 armor bar. So even if you get like 1,000,000 damage, you will still lose only 1 armor bar if it was like in 1 hit, because that's like the limit of damage you can get. If you have no armor, you will obviously die from such a hit. But if you have 1 armor, you will not die, you will just lose 1 armor. If you have 3 armor, you will just lose 1 armor and be left with 2 armor. And you also get a key chest. If you open it, you have a chance of getting higher tier keys, but most likely we'll just get 1 key, and it's this key. You can pick it up, you can salvage it if you don't really care, but if it's a beginner guide, that's a strategy rather for like advanced players, let's say. And you can see in my inventory that I have currently this amount of keys that ends with 8. If I pick this up, it's now 9, and it will just stay this way. Even if you like die or whatever happens, the key is yours, and you will have it in the lobby to unlock new weapons, obviously, the items. Let's go for the next biome, because this was the tropical biome. Currently in the game there are 3 biomes, the 3 base biomes. The next biome that we are going to is the ice biome, which I think is the hardest biome, even though the volcano biome should be actually the hardest, which is the 3rd biome. But yeah, we get the same order for the next 10 islands. We'll also end this with the elite, and instead of regular crabs, we have the ice crabs. Since I have armor now, I can lose my combo, so I will show you what the crab does if it hits us. If the ice crab hits us, it will freeze us, as you saw, but that was like very short. Let's kill this ant. Let's get hit again, because maybe... Yeah, it just freezes us. If you are frozen, you cannot get, you cannot move or you cannot shoot until you get unfrozen. But you can get unfrozen if you get hit again. So if that happens, then I guess that's good, technically. Damage chest. Every single... Wow, I get a legendary. Yeah, right, because I have a stream loot. Every first chest of every biome, even the Island 1 chest, is a damage chest. It's always a damage chest, which is good because damage chests are one of the best chests. They obviously increase your damage. Torpedo shot has a chance to fire homing torpedoes along with your shots, with my shots. So if we do this, yeah, did you see that? That was an explosive torpedo. It would be homing, but there are no enemies right now, so it does not home. Yeah, that's the torpedo. It's quite decent. What's its damage? 100. Yeah, 8% chance to fire a torpedo that deals 100 damage. Obviously multiplied by what our perks increase. Challenge energy rings. I can show you this challenge. Sure, skill chest is better in this case, but whatever. So if we kill an enemy, it does the energy ring that I showed you before, but it doesn't deal damage to enemies, only you. So that's the big challenge of this challenge. Yeah. So I will do this tactic, which is like really advanced tactic, and stay in the air to not get hit by the rings. And that was a quick way to deal with this challenge. And we got double chests because every time we do a challenge, like this one for example, we always get double chests. Ice shot, quite decent, but let's go for poison shot. Oh yeah, I also forgot to explain how do the elementals work. So there are 5 elements in the game right now, at least 5 elements that work properly. Poison increases your damage. It multiplies your damage actually. By oh no, it's homing thorns. I completely like forgot. Well, I lost my combo and my shield. That's kind of bad, but I'm just a bad player, right? The poison, if you apply poison to an enemy, it gets increased damage, plus 1% damage per stack. So if you apply like 50 stacks, it just gets 50% increased damage. That's very good for elites rather and bosses rather than like regular enemies. But yeah, it's just really good, regarded as the best, basically. The next one is fire. It obviously just attacks enemies a few times per second, and the higher the stacks, the longer it takes. The upgrade chest, yeah, we are going for that. The more stacks you have, the higher damage you deal, and the effect stays for more. Arcane works very similarly, but there are a few differences. Arcane does not deal a few times per second, it deals roughly once per second. It deals damage. The damage dealt is equal to the stacks that you have on enemy. So if the enemy has 150 stacks, it will get damaged by 150. And every time Arcane attacks the enemy, every time it deals damage, it will lower its stacks by 15%. There's no run out rate like with fire, there's a constant run out rate. Arcane does not run out unless it damages enemy, and that's when it lowers its stacks by 15%. So high Arcane stacks amount will get down much lower than fire, but low Arcane stacks will run out much slower than fire. So it's like a double-edged sword, let's say. The upgrade chest will have only 2 choices instead of 3 choices, but it will spawn only items that you already have. At random. It doesn't also care about the rarity of the items. We got 2 rares, so well, can't really prove that, but the chance for getting epics, legendaries and rares is the same in upgrade chests. That's the only chest that works this way. So it's really cool to upgrade your legendaries. However, it's very rare. The upgrade chest happens like once every 40 chests or something like that, so it's quite rare. I'll take light shot just to increase our fire rate even more. Yeah, the fire rate increase now is by 40%, but shots deal 28% less damage because the debuff is scaling hyperbolically. So yeah, the more levels of light shot you have, the better it gets, really. The next element is ice. Ice just freezes enemies, as I said. It does basically what I said. I'll take bubble shot. I'll show you how bubble shot works. It spawns these cool bubbles that just damage enemies that are inside the bubble. Maybe I'll just drop like all of this and take the bubble shot, and yeah, it damages them like this. Yeah, that's how it works. It damages them very quickly if they are inside, for quite a lot of damage, and it also obviously is increased by the perk increases. I will explain the elements, but first I broke a rock. So there's a low chance that if you break a rock, it will spawn an item. And it just happened. It can happen only if an island is active, so if you did not kill the enemies yet, that's the only time it can happen. But shop is technically considered an always active island because you never finish it, because there are no enemies to kill because they do not spawn. So technically shop counts as never finished island. You just go to the next island instead of finishing it first. And we got Speed Demon, which increases our movement speed by 20%. It might not be visible at first because we will be like sliding anyways, but it is quite a good item, but I rarely take it. I think stamina increases your speed much faster. If you can get stamina, that would be cool, because I could show you. Pie check is also cool. Oh, I don't have enough. Oh man, but there's a random chest. Let's see. Hard target, incoming damage reduced. That would be really cool, but I would rather take paycheck. The base chance for rocks giving you items is like 2-3%, but it can be increased with driller, which is our luck item, which I like rarely really choose. When I was less experienced player, I really loved driller. Now I just think it's like kind of like whatever. And this is also a really good island. This is a special island, and it's the rarest island you can get. And it's also probably maybe like the coolest island you can get. Let me just see if there's anything cool. Whatever. This is the Parkour island. So Parkour island works completely differently, and that's because there's the banana boost you need to get, and you get much faster, and then you have the parkour, which you need to finish quickly to get epic chests. I will be explaining a bit more later, but I want just to say that the parkour, the game used to have racing mode in plans, and this is like the very prototype of the racing mode, because like it's the parkour. That's how the racing mode would work if it's ever added, but currently I don't think it's like very planned right now. I got 28 seconds left, so I got epic chests. If you fall below 25 seconds left, so like 24 and onwards, you will get only damage chests, which sometimes even you want a damage chest rather than epic chests, because epic chests can give you whatever, whilst the damage chest will always give you damage items, which are usually really good. And if you fall below like 4 seconds or like 5 seconds, so you get like 3 seconds, you will get a health chest instead. And if the timer drops to 0, the island finishes anyway, and you just get a health chest, which works not like a regular health chest, but rather as like the elite health chest. So it can spawn, it has like one option I think, and it can spawn only hearts or armor. But let's open our epic chest and let's see what we got. Gemstone increases damage after clearing each island by 6%. Stone loot obviously level 2 is quite good, and damage aura deals constant damage to nearby enemies. Sounds OP, but the damage it deals is rather low. Builds with it are good, can be done, but kind of specific. Let's take Stone loot level 2 because I think it's much better. So the ice element, if you freeze the enemy, you will obviously make it unable to move and unable to attack, and it will also like slide. If it was moving, it will continue moving in that direction, sliding. So you can make it fall off the map in some maps, like this one for example. And also it's important that bosses cannot be frozen. You cannot freeze bosses. They have immunity to freeze, like complete immunity. Bosses have overall element immunities, but for ice it's like 100% immunity. You just cannot apply ice stacks to it. And if you apply ice stacks to an enemy, if it's during an attack, it will reset that attack. That's really strong knowledge for elites, because an elite can like spam projectiles. If you freeze it in that time, it will just stop doing that and reset its attack. So if you keep doing that all the time, that's like really good, right? Bonus crystals increases crystals dropped by 50%, which is really good. Let's take this. So this is the last horde island. I will show you something interesting, because on this map you can just go here and you get to the other part of the map. This is like a really sneaky technique to use, but it's really cool. I always thought it's really cool. You can obviously go back. Oh, hopefully I don't get damaged. Okay, that's good, very good. Yeah, and you can just cycle between those areas if you feel overwhelmed in one of them. Especially if you are going for like flawless, which is like, you know, 55 seconds without getting damaged. That's quite a lot. That's quite a long time. Oh, obviously there's also the lightning element. The lightning element, it changes between enemies and deals damage this way. The damage formula is unknown, sadly, and it's kind of weird, but its damage overall is low, and it's considered one of the worst ones, but it's okay early game, I guess. So we have the shop and we have 2.4k crystals, and if I take this one I get 3.4k additional crystals, which is a lot. So let's take this one. Again, we got either 3.4 thousand crystal from the medium bundle, or 1.3 thousand crystals from the small bundle. I wonder which one to choose. That's a really hard question. Now we have a lot of crystals for the shop, so I will make my build OP probably in this shop. So let's see, currently we do like, what, 2,000, 4,000 at most, if I apply a lot of poison, yeah. Let's get some real good items now. Sadly, this totem exploded after 1 use, which is like really unfortunate. But I got bubble shot level 2, so now my build should be like much better. It's whatever, kind of. 5-6k, but yeah, it's like way more than enough for the elite. So my recommendations for nightmare, which will obviously would be lower for normal, but I never analyzed it, used to be like for the first elite, 250 DPS should be like you should have at least 250 DPS. For the second elite, you should have 1000 DPS, and for the boss you should have 2000 DPS. So we already have like 6000, so that should be more than enough. Obviously that recommendation is for a player that is struggling. I would never struggle with an elite like this easy on normal. Obviously I'm such a good player, right? No, I'm obviously joking, but I think I'm really good. But we should flawlessly and very quickly kill this elite ice skull. Yeah, we should not have any problem anymore. So I got another key. Elites and bosses will spawn keys until island 60. After island 60 there will be no more spawning of the keys, but maybe you don't even want to really loop, so I will show you what I mean later. So we are now in the volcano biome. Obviously the ice biome has ice enemies, the volcano biome, I don't think it has special enemies. I think all the enemies in the volcano biome can also spawn in the tropical biome, but the ice biome has special enemies, that's for sure. Oh, bubble blast! I got the bubble blast for the grenade. Now my grenade explodes into 3 of these bubbles, but that's actually useless. Why did I take that? It's useless because I have a good weapon build and I have no grenade build, so now it would be just underperforming. That's why it's just not worth to have it. So I got another challenge, shrapnel. Let's take that, so I just show you how it works. If you kill an enemy, oh, that was not an enemy. It will, oh, that was a black hole rock. That's a rock that can spawn only in this biome. If I kill an enemy, it explodes into these like orbs, and they deal damage to you, but not the enemies. If you have a challenge, and the challenge spawns like rings or like the shrapnel projectiles, they will never deal damage to enemies, except for homing barrels. The barrels will deal damage to enemies, so that's why homing barrels is usually not seen as very hard. And so like the shrapnel projectiles will not deal damage to enemies, that's the challenge. Also, as you can see, I'm not touching the lava. That's because lava applies fire stacks to you. The tropical biome has only water, the ice biome has no water, 0 water there. And the lava biome, or the volcano biome really, has just lava that applies... What the hell is this? Lol. It applies... Is there something really? No. That's just really weird. It will apply fire stacks to you, so it will damage you. And I don't want to get damaged, obviously, right? But swimming in lava is not that bad. If you really need to escape from enemies, it might be better than taking damage from enemies outright, but usually you just want to avoid it. So we have the spike strikes challenge, another challenge, but also we got homing barrels challenge. So let's take this one. I want to show you this one because it's like really goofy. If we kill an enemy, a homing barrel spawns, and we can shoot the barrel so it explodes. This is maybe not the best island for homing barrels, the best map, not really, but oh, okay, I didn't get hit, I get poisoned by the poison slug area effect, but it didn't damage me, so that counts. Also, yeah, I have a turret now, so it's shooting at, it's the sniper turret, so it's the slow firing one. Where is this enemy? It was there. After the island ends, all the homing barrels will explode, so like they no longer follow you and annoy you. This is the turret. Every turret looks the same. Turrets are like really work in progress right now. They work, but they just look terrible and are really, well, it's not terrible. I like the model really, but they can shoot into each other. They have aim problems and they are just weak also. So yeah, they are like not very viable. But third only challenge, build challenge, it's a real challenge. It happened and it's not like even bad. I might do a video on that later on, maybe. So right now we have the Horde Island and it's our first speed chest. Speed chests contain mostly fire rate upgrades, but they will also contain items like Speed Demon that increases our movement speed, or Stamina that increases our dash amount. Let's see what we get. Speed Demon, Light Shot and Adrenaline. Adrenaline increases your fire rate by 50% for 5 seconds at level 1, and leveling it up increases the duration. It would be good if we had no fire rate upgrades, but we have Light Shot level 2 already, so let's take it to level 3. Now the Light Shot is better than Adrenaline, we have it all the time. We get the shop now. Let's take String Loot, one is Black Card. Shockwave is really cool, I'll show you how it works. Okay, I have only 21 crystals left. I got Split Shot, I got All You Can Eat, which if you kill an enemy for 2 seconds you can shoot as many bullets as you want. You will not use up any ammunition, which is good for us because we started with 40 ammunition, now we have only 17 due to the high caliber, which is like not very good, but with All You Can Eat that should not be a problem. And the Shockwave, if you reload, every 4 seconds you can use Shockwave. If you reload, you will damage all the enemies on the map. And it also is multiplied by perk damage, which is like really strong overall. But I usually use it as radar because it damages all. It says that it damages all the enemies inside, but really it damages all the enemies on the map. So let's use it now. Yeah, it killed everything because our damage is just so high. That probably would not happen on Nightmare, but on normal that happened because like normal is like way easier. There should be 4 champions. We killed 2 of them. There's the third one. It's only 26. Sorry, never mind. Yeah, so I use Shockwave as a radar to find blocked enemies, because enemies can just get like stuck somewhere like here and they cannot escape. That happens sometimes. So radar, Shockwave helps me as a radar to find them. Strength level 4, that's cool. And another grid chest. Well, I don't think I ever had a run to Island 30 where I got 3 grid chests in it. Let's take it. So now we can just, with our fire rate, we can just do this and we do like a carpet of mace balls and kill everything. I don't even need to aim. I love the builds in this game. I love playing this game. It's like so fun. It's so creative with all the stuff you can come up with in it. Yeah, so there are now 4 champions there, but we are obviously also one-shooting them, because if you perfect your build crafting, you can really get a god build with any luck, really. And I even proved it many times. And I will prove it in the future. I wonder actually. Let's take double spike chest. It doesn't even really matter because we can easily kill the boss. But well, so let me start telling you about the bosses. They have interesting mechanic, but they are overall regarded as rather easier than the ice biome elites. Because the bosses need a rework also. But currently there are 2 bosses that can spawn, 2 types of bosses, and they're like cool to fight, I guess. There probably should be more bosses, but obviously the game is like in early access, so it will be added eventually. The bosses have 3 phases. If you beat a boss phase, it will stop like at 66% health, it will get a short invulnerability, and it will spawn a few champions or medium enemies. Depending on the boss you get, the enemies will be different. Let's see, Aura Shot, Crimson Haze. Yeah, it's, as I said, it's kind of whatever. And it will stop at 66% to get the invulnerability, and then it may gain new attacks. It doesn't always happen, but may get new attacks. And it also will do the same at 33%, and it will also gain new attacks maybe. Then you can just kill it. Warp Shot is really good because it allows me to shoot in like the 7 projectiles arc. It's like really good. but it's only like what, 13% chance to happen. So yeah, actually honestly I could just buy everything really, whatever it could be, but we can just easily kill the boss. So let's just go and kill the boss. Look at the damage. Look at the damage. It can be like 25,000 with 200 poison. So yeah, let's kill the boss. This is the boss island. The boss spawns like that. Yeah, one phase is gone, second phase is gone. Oh, I got hit, but third phase is gone, and that was not flawless. And if the boss spawns, it will heal you to full. It will drop these pickups, and no matter your health, you will always get healed to full. And it also drops 3 keys. There are 2 keys here, the third one is here because like, the keys sometimes like spawn underground, and this is like a measure to, if that happens, it will just pop it back up, like it will spawn it on the surface again. So it spawned somewhere down there because of this bug, and it just got spawned back again. So you can take these 3 keys, and there's also a legendary chest that will have only legendary items. We can take whichever, we don't even have to take them because we are going to the crab island. If you finish island 30, you can either loop, which makes the enemies much harder, and you are going between island 31 and 60 now, and it basically works the same way, or you can go to Crab Island, and this is where you win. If an achievement says that you require a victory, for example, for it, that means you have to take the Crab Island. And if we do this, we will spawn on a special island that looks like this. There's not a lot around. We have to go to the gold crab and take the victory crown, and that means that we survived. You can screenshot that. I have like 100 screenshots of my victory screens, maybe way too much than I had to. You can also post it in the Discord that I obviously also recommend you joining. There's the victories channel. You can post your victories there. I will be there to cheer you up most of the time, and it has a lot of different statistics, like your score, your time taken, which for me is obviously way higher than for you because I explained a lot of stuff. You probably will not take 1 hour and 8 minutes to finish a 30 island run. Actually, the world record is like 7 minutes, like the speed run. And it shows your eliminations, damage dealt, your score, damage taken, and flawless islands. Flawless islands do not include shops. So if you would flawless every single island, and have if you would not have random islands on, you would have 24 flawless islands instead of 30 because there would be 6 shops, and the shops just do not count. So yeah, hopefully everything was understandable. Hopefully you learned a lot from this video. Hopefully you might even buy the game now after watching this video. Please do. You can support the game by buying it from the link in the description. And hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it's not like way too long. I know it is, sorry for that, but there's just a lot of stuff to the game that you kind of want to learn as a beginner. Yeah, so we would now, if you had like 5 keys, because we got 5 keys from that run, you could use it on key totem to unlock a random weapon. Yeah, also the weapons that you unlock randomly. There's no set order, so you can unlock like any weapon. You could get like burst pistol, sadly, which is the worst weapon in the game. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let's change to the regular skin, or maybe if I will be making the intermediate guide, maybe I'll take like, I don't know, like amber skin or like warped, because it's like an achievement that an intermediate player probably would have done. Or this one, yeah, this one seems cool, yeah, I guess, or maybe this one. Well, but I will be probably not doing the intermediate guide as in my next video. Well, anyways, I will not be stopping you here anymore. Hope you enjoyed this video, really, and see you later in like maybe a challenge video, something cool. See ya.